Vivial yesterday. Mighty Spy, well, John Dance has gone pretty close already. Mighty Spirit, I beg your pardon. Mighty Spirit, PJ McDonald riding for Richard Fahey and John Dance. They went agonisingly close earlier.
Yeah, she's a quick filly, still a maiden, one of the highest rated you'll find in training. She ran well, but she was beaten fair and square by Mrs Bouquet on the last time at Goodwood. Mrs Bouquet, a non-runner in this field.
Now, Dylan de Vega moves forward from nursery company to this, but it was an excellent run at Goodwood.
It was. That was behind Homespin, who's been in good form, beaten a length and a quarter that day. He's got an official mark of 92. That was over 6. Drops back in trip. He's got course experience. He was second here behind Mrs Bouquet back in July. And treble, similar comments apply to Wonderwork. Quite impressive when breaking the maiden yard, loaded with good 2-year-olds.
He's a fine-looking horse as well, and he beat a good promising horse of Phoenix Thoroughbreds when we won up at Haydock. The quicker ground would be a bit of a worry. When you see him, he's a heavy-topped type, and he might just not let himself down as much on this quicker ground.
It was a good time, that Haydock race, and it's working out pretty well too, as is the race that the subsequent runner-up won at Goodwood. Last one coming forward then for the Roses. Here's Stuart.
Treble, still edgy. They're off, jumping out for the Julia Graves Roses Stakes, 5 furlongs in front of them. Now, Alligator Alley was quite badly impeded by Dream Shot leaving the stalls, and the favourite is last through the first furlong. Out in the centre, Treble in the noseband, showing bright speeds. Upside Wonderwork with the orange cap. Down the near side at a brisk pace, Daughter-in-Law in the diamond jacket is in the leading line. Kemble is also chasing them in the grey silks. Dr. Simpson with the orange sleeves. And then Dylan de Vega. Alligator Alley has only managed to get past 1 at this stage, and that's Think Big. Dream Shot and Mighty Spirit fairly well back as they come inside the 2 with He's a Laddie and Streamline. Moving on down towards the last furlong and a half, and it's Daughter-in-Law and Jason Watson who swept to the front here, and they've scampered a couple of lengths clear. Alligator Alley is now beginning to finish off very strongly from an unpromising position. He's fairly surging home. Streamline and Dr. Simpson with Mighty Spirit also finishing off, but Alligator Alley is going to pull this out the fire. The class act gets home. Tight for second between Streamline and Dr. Simpson. Mighty Spirit and Think Big were right in behind them.
Well, that's the second big festival at which Alligator Alley has had absolutely no luck in running, but it didn't matter. He was simply too good, and as Stuart said in commentary, he dragged it out of the fire for Donica and Joseph O'Brien. Surely he wants a bit further than 5 furlongs as well, but he's good enough to win a stakes race at the minimum, and he's an exciting prospect. Another exciting prospect by Kingman. Again, action unfolding up the stand-side rail in the end.
Yeah, we've seen some big sprint performances through the week. Mum's Tipple, Threat, the winner of the Lowther as well. But don't rule this fella out, because he deserves a lot more credit on the day. It went wrong from the stalls. He ended up way back. He was in a horrible position, having to make up 7 or 8 lengths on the leaders. But he's managed to close them down, and he must have a big engine. I think he'll be better at 6 furlongs as well, Nick.
It is quite tight for the minor honours. I haven't heard yet who's been called the runner-up. I think it is number 10, Dr. Simpson, but I will confirm that in due course. Yes, that is confirmed. 3rd was Streamline, and 4th, flying up the stands rail, was Think Big for Colin Keane, that Ebor-winning rider again. They went hard enough here, Mark. It was Daughter-in-Law who broke the race open, and how. Yeah,
the replays, what we've seen, don't really do it justice, because I think it was a coming together with Dream Shot, who was drawn next to him in stall 11. A furlong and a half out, he was still only had 1 horse behind him. That's some performance.
And the winner then of the Roses Stakes, Alligator Alley. Really smart effort.
For Donica and Joseph O'Brien, Alligator Alley winning that 4:10 there at York, as we switch to the handicap over 1.25 miles at Chelmsford City, the Victoria Bass handicap to be precise, and as you can see they're just arriving down at the start. All 9 go here, and we've got a 100 to 30 favourite in Kingdom of Dubai. We've got 9 to 2 from 4-1 Go Fox, Dangerous Ends on 5-1, same price 5-1 Waterfront, 7-1 from 8-1 Bayston Hill, and it is 8-1 Bar Those. Kingdom of Dubai then, your favourite for Roger Varian and Jack Mitchell, and running for the first time since being gelded a couple of months ago, George.
Yeah, I think hopefully the gelding will have a positive effect. He's at times not looked the most willing late on in his races, and hopefully that can make the difference. And they found a very weak race to sort of come back to, so it hopefully could be a big confidence booster for him.
Go Fox is £4 higher today, John, compared to the win last time.
Yeah, George Wood's mount got off the mark on turf at Yarmouth a few weeks ago. Didn't run too badly, and a couple of runs last season, and has been lightly raced this term. So there may well be a bit more to come. This isn't a strong race for the grade, actually. For a 0 to 70, I've seen stronger. The one who's definitely interesting is the top one, Dangerous Ends, given the fact we normally see this one in better grade than this. Normally runs 0 to 75, 0 to 80. It's now down in grade. Last time it was in this class, it won a race a while ago, and it's a consistent enough type in this sort of against these types of rivals to suggest that it should go close off top weight.
And Bayston Hill, George, twice this horse has been to Chelmsford, a third and a win, and actually has dropped a pound below that win earlier on this year.
Yeah, no, dropped to a competitive mark. One I wanted to give a quick mention to is Waterfront of Simon Crisford's. Lightly raced gelding and visor on for the first time. The last time we saw him at Chelmsford, he ran very well behind Baraska. That was it, back end of last year, over course and distance, and wasn't complete disgrace. First run back for a little while off the track at Windsor last time when beaten 5 and a bit lengths by Culture. Dropped £2 for that, and I think off a mark of 6.6 could be very competitive in what looks a weak race to the grade.
And Dangerous Ends winning form over course and distance, John, but 3 times a winner at Kempton Park.
Yeah, as I mentioned, it's the drop in grade that I think makes Dangerous Ends of some sort of interest in a race like this. Normally see this horse in better grade. The others we've got to mention Tangran, Ryan Tate riding this one for Dean Ivory. It does okay on the all-weather, it's when we normally see it. So the run at Nottingham last time on soft ground wouldn't have been his bag, really. So it should be okay back on this sort of surface. And he's got a bit of a chance in his best form. But it's like a few of these races, consistency wouldn't be a strong point.
Well, there's clearly a delay at Chelmsford, but there's the scene at Goodwood ahead of the 4:25. Let's go to Nick for a quick look at this Ladbrokes handicap over 9 furlongs.
Gordon, thank you very much indeed. You can see the runners on the left-hand side of the screen there making their way in at Chelmsford. But next up, we've got the Ladbrokes Handicap Stakes, 4:25 p.m. the off time, 1 mile 1 the trip, and the sole 3-year-old in the lineup is Chance, who is 3 from 6 overall. All 3 wins in the last 3 starts, unbeaten in handicaps. Mark has shot up £15 in that time, indeed going up £9 for that York win last time. Is progressing very, very well indeed, and of course at the moment we don't quite know the ceiling of his ability. You'll see the runners making their way behind at Goodwood, but they're doing so in a pretty orderly fashion now. For this delayed race at Chelmsford, we're now ticking closer to 3 minutes past post time, but they won't be too far away. So with that, let's get over to Chelmsford and Anthony Ennis.
And also Waterfront, I think will be last one in the green for Simon Crisford. Last one goes in, all in, ready. And they're off. Waterfront was a step slow for the Victoria Bass Handicap Stakes over 1.25 miles. Good start in the centre by Bayston Hill. Also up there is Perfect Imperfection, the dark jacket to the outside, with racing handily out very wide. Fiction Writer in the silver colours now coming forward to take over. So passing the stands with a lap to go. Fiction Writer will lead and cross over to Perfect Imperfection racing in second. Bayston Hill in third place. Paco's Prince will race in fourth. Ahead of Tangran, the blue with the white seams against the running rails in fifth place. Wider out Paco's Prince in that blue jacket with the pink diamonds on the sleeves. 2 lengths back to Waterfront in the green colours. Back on the inside then, we have in the stars Go Fox with the well-fancied Kingdom of Dubai racing in the last group, along with Dangerous Ends, who's in red colours with the black cap as they make the turn towards the back straight. So Fiction Writer in front, a length clear to Perfect Imperfection, who's racing on the outside in second place, with behind those in third, that is Bayston Hill in the blue and white. Also blue and white for Tangram, who's got the cheek pieces on in behind runners. The quartered cap out wider with the pink on the sleeves, that is Allard Beach riding Paco's Prince. And in the green colours of Waterfront, who's next in the field. Towards the inside is Go Fox, and he's being followed through then by Kingdom of Dubai, and the back marker is still Dangerous Ends, held up by William Carver as they make the turn over at the far end. They're still being led by Fiction Writer. They now begin to swing inside the final half mile. Perfect Imperfection is still close up though to the outside in second. Behind them in third, we have Bayston Hill. Tangram on the inner, nudged along. On the outside is Paco's Prince, Waterfront. Then comes Go Fox. The back marker is Kingdom of Dubai, being chased along as well, this favourite, as they make the home turn. Perfect Imperfection is the first one to attack in the dark colours and go a half length clear to Fiction Writer in second. Out wider, Paco's Prince. Shaken up Bayston Hill. Dangerous Ends is going far side, but it's Perfect Imperfection in front still, down to the final furlong. Perfect Imperfection. She's finding plenty the filly for Stefano Churchy. She's in front of Bayston Hill, and Perfect Imperfection will score for Marco Botti. To in second place, Bayston Hill. Waterfront just third, and fourth
and
was Fiction Writer.
In the early stages is Rotherwick. He's racing 5 lengths off the leader, who is Lawn Ranger, as they complete the first furlong and a half. Lawn Ranger, Harry Bentley out in front by nearly 2 lengths now to Your Hired, racing just in second. Chance is Little Keen in third as they go through the cutaway and through the intersection, and now sticking to the inner of the track, which means they'll return back towards home via the bottom bend. Lawn Ranger leads the way to Your Hired in second, Chance in third. Around there outside the grey dark red, followed by Uther Pendragon, and Rotherwick is still the back marker, and now they've reached the top of the hill. Freewheeling down towards the home straight, Lawn Ranger's lead is just over a length now to Your Hired, racing in second, Chance in third, Uther Pendragon to the inside of dark red, and still the back marker Rotherwick, who's slightly outpaced at this point. They've turned in, 3.5 to go, and now Your Hired moves up on the outside of Lawn Ranger. They've kicked a couple of lengths clear of Chance back in third, Uther Pendragon, followed by dark red. Still the back marker is Rotherwick. They've got just over a quarter mile to go. Lawn Ranger towards the far side rail, but now taken on by Your Hired, but battling back to the inside. Lawn Ranger still with a couple of lengths to find. Chance back in third. Dark Red is staying on in fourth. The final furlong. Lawn Ranger digging in, leads now by 1.5 lengths. In second place is Your Hired as they race up towards the line. Lawn Ranger makes just about every yard of the running for a third win of the year. Harry Bentley and Lawn Ranger win. It was tight for second between Your Hired and the staying on Rotherwick.
Lawn Ranger, that proven pace angle, has had it his own way up on the front end and has won for Harry Bentley. First win of the afternoon for him, and he's won for Mick Atwater, a second Epsom trained winner of the day.